Thank you very much. My name is Rob. I'm the managing director of Appmiral. We are a Belgium-based festival app builder and live event app builder, and we're doing this for 9 years. They say that it's always a good thing to start with a catchy one-liner or a catchy phrase. So the question that I want to ask the entire crew here and the entire people, who should be making money on your event visitor retention? And I think, is it him or is it you? And I think it's very important. If you have a dedicated channel, you have the opportunity to monetize the visitor retention of your crowd. So what's on the agenda today? 3 things. First of all, I want to explain to you who is Appmiral, what do we do. Secondly, the challenges that festivals, but equally live events, will be facing. And thirdly, how we approach things and how our solution will look like. First of all, who is Appmiral? What do we do? We started this 9 years ago. At that point, we still had to build mobile applications on 5 different operating systems. Luckily for our dev team, we only have to do it in 2 operating systems this year. We have quite a nice portfolio. We built 50 applications around the planet, including festivals like Tomorrowland, Zwarte Cross, the biggest in the Netherlands, Nature One and World Club Dome, the biggest ones in Germany, Rocking the Daisies in South Africa. We were active on 4 continents. The value chain, our paying customer is the organizer. That means if we want to please him, we have to please his revenue streams. And his main revenue streams are the visitors, but equally important is the sponsorships. The visitor revenue is coming from ticket sales, food and drinks, and merchandising mainly. And for the sponsors, it's all about brand activations. But there's quite a lot of challenges that will come in the next chapter of this keynote. Where is Appmiral? We want to be in the middle of all that. We want the sponsors to allow you to engage the sponsors with your visitors. We can inform your visitors through our application. So what do you get if you become an Appmiral client? There's 3 things. So there's something for every stakeholder in the value chain. First of all, you have a digital assistant in the pocket of your visitor. Secondly, there's a content management system for the organizers to create push notifications, to create content. And secondly, you have a digital shopping window for your sponsors to be broadcasted or showed or be part of the digital experience of your event. Now, there are some challenges ahead. The question is your event ready for the full digital enablement? And I think there's a lot of industries that are asking these questions to their clients. You need to have 4, we see 4 big challenges actually. First of all, the visitor expectations. Secondly, the sponsor expectations. There's a digitally transforming industry. And the question is, can you withstand the upcoming fragmentation? Challenge number 1, your visitor profile. So the average age of a festival goer is 32 at the moment. That means that there's a lot of millennials. And I think we all know what a millennial is and how high the expectations are. But that's just a part of the problem. The upcoming problem is there's almost half already Generation Z. And that's a much more difficult crowd to attract and to engage with, because they're not only mobile first and mobile only, they only want to do anything mobile. They only want to buy a ticket on their mobile. They don't open a desktop anymore to buy stuff. It has to be instant gratification, and that's a lot more difficult than a millennial. Secondly, other industries are setting the tone. If I flew here, I have to have I can upload my ticket to my mobile wallet from Apple, but when I come here, I need to print my thing, and then I can only print my ticket and scan it. So that's too bad of an experience. That should all become digital at some point, being part of this festival app experience. Same for payments. So ticketing and payments are the next coming integrations and services that will be linked to this experience. The entire, and this is our wildest dream, that the entire visitor journey should be digitalized. From buying a ticket to linking your wristband, everything should be part of your event application as an integrated service. From service to merchandising to buying beers, everything. Secondly, the biggest challenge is not only the visitors, but also the expectations from your sponsors. Sponsors brands, they also do other things than just festivals, and they are much more wanting data to come back to them. So you have to have reporting. You need to do things professionalized, and that's not an easy thing. You could say, okay, we can give you some brand awareness. That's the old-fashioned way of embedding sponsors in your festival. But embedding them into your digital experience to make them stand out from classic advertisement, that's the way festivals should be moving forward. And stand out from the clutter. For example, you have a brand sponsoring your event. But if you don't have your own channel, what mostly happens is that they promote something on your Facebook channel. So, for example, Lipton, the iced tea brand, they have a sponsorship approach, and what happens, the festival will promote what they are doing on their Facebook feed. And there will be between hamsters and food and barbecues and sausages and whatever irrelevant cluttered content, that's not the way forward anymore. The best way of doing that is have your own dedicated channel, which you can fully control. Just some examples here. And make it more like this. So we have an intelligent newsfeed. I will show you later on how we can embed the sponsors into your own dedicated newsfeed. Secondly, your competitors probably are doing a good job as well. So this entire industry is digitally transforming from cashless to mobile ticketing, name it. And it's expanding in time. It's not only the 2-3 days of a festival, but it's also the moments before and the moments after a festival. But it's also expanding in depth. So it's not just about music with a few food and drink bars. It's about a full-on festival experience where the camping has its own stages, where the best chefs from the country will come to your event to cook and show their skills. There's so much things to do that you will be needing a digital assistant to show your visitors around. And then the worst thing that can happen is that you have an application for a festival, you have an application for your music, you have an application for your cashless, an application for your ticketing, and there's a lot of fragmentation. This will hurt the ARPU, the average revenue per user, so you have to make sure that everything gets integrated. Next thing is, if you have the fragmented, then you also have fragmented data. And if you want some interesting insights on your own audience, it's very important that this data get linked and that you have some actual insights indeed. So, 4 challenges. Why do you need your own digital platform? For me, 4 reasons. First of all, your visitors will be expecting one. Your sponsor will be expecting a more professionalized approach from you. The industry is just transforming in a very fast pace. And fourth, you have to withstand the upcoming fragmentation and just make it your application and connect all the services towards your platform. So how do we approach this? This is the most important slide in this entire deck. We have a newsfeed. So the thing that all the users are used to from Facebook and Instagram and whatever social media that they're spending hours per day on, we do the same thing. But this is monetized by you, not by Zuckerberg. That means you can make from the CMS, you can create posts, push notifications, warning cards, whatever type of cards. And also this newsfeed, 80% of the activity that we have from our application that we see from clients is coming from this newsfeed. And it will look different before, during, and after, because the need of your visitor is also different before, during, and after. So this is the same home screen, but it will look differently based on the contextuality of the event. We have a lot of automated content because creating content, it's a very hard job. It takes a lot of time and effort. Probably the content is already there, but we will redirect the traffic back to your own monetized channel. So we will integrate with Instagram, making sure that when the people come back to your application, something happens, something changes, and there's always some new content popping up in the newsfeed. This is the reason why people will be coming back. On top of that, we have some personalized suggestion cards for each visitor. That means that every newsfeed will look different. That's what Generation Z and the millennials just want. They want their own application, not just some generic list app. No, they want a personal experience. That's how we got clients like Tomorrowland convinced of working with our application instead of the many other applications. We are actually still the only one, and I don't understand why, but still it is, that work with this, with the automated news feed as a home screen. All the rest is just giving the lineup with pictures of artists, and which is totally not engaging and totally not worth coming back to. If I've seen it once, then I've seen it, other times as well. Ticket integration. Last year we created an integration for the ticketing for Zwarte Cross, so they can just scan their tickets and add them to a mobile wallet within your application. Everything, every festival-related services should be embedded in your application. This is why the adoption rate will go up, and this is why your sponsorship revenue can go up the upcoming years. If you have an adoption rate of 70, 80, 90% is what we see at clients, then sponsors will be jumping for you with big bags of money to be digitally integrated in your apps as well. Dynamic maps, this is what we've done for Tomorrowland. So what we do, we create a GeoJSON and we put actually an interactive layer on top of an Apple or a Google map so that people can navigate throughout the festival grounds and the mini city that is popping up those festival weekends. They can locate themselves, they can find their friends, whatever kind of stuff. This is a small movie embedded, hopefully it works. Yup. From augmented reality that we created. So if we have the geo-accurate points, we can also just plot it on your camera function. So we know I'm looking for a stage. Here's a stage. So we can use that same type of data, but we use this in a different experience. Maybe you've seen it. I'll show you again. There's also this 3D logo from a brand coming by. So one of the sponsors for this application was Proximus, a Belgian telco. And you can actually sell your virtual space as well. So this is something completely new that is also monetizable by you. If you have augmented reality, then it is your virtual space to sell. And Samsung's, telcos, I can assure you, those are all brands that will be jumping to sponsor these kinds of features in an application. Location intelligence, we have an integration with Crowd Connect. The guys are a bit further on in another area of this event as well. Heat maps, everything location-based. If you want to send out a push notification about the bike parking, it's best to do that only to the people who went by bike to your festival, and not all the guys who came by bus or by car, because it's irrelevant content. And by segmenting this based on anonymous location, you are able to create a lot more relevancy in your communication. And that is also the key to engagement and adoption in the future. Every data that we send back to you is in real time, so we track everything to Firebase Analytics. On top of, we give you a Google Data Studio, and everything you see is just in real time, from app behavior to downloads to whatever, to how many times have they clicked on whatever content, how many times they opened the push notification, stuff like that. Sponsor Embed, just some examples on how you can brand the POIs on the map, you can create cards, you can create push notifications, get some advanced sponsor reporting stuff. So how does it work? If you want to become an Appmiral client, first of all, you have to choose. We have a foundation, which is mainly the newsfeed with some typical festival features. We can upgrade that with augmented reality module, with ticketing module, based on the needs of your festival. We do all the rest. You give us your design assets. We have a design team that will create the complete identity of your festival. We add that with timetable assets. They can come in from API, JSON, XML, or just manual from the CMS, doesn't matter. We keep it synchronized with all the other platforms that you do. We magically create you one of the most beautiful apps you've ever seen. We will train you on our CMS, and we will do the submission in the stores for you. So the only thing that you guys need to do is give us your design assets, give us your timetable assets, and we will do all the rest. And we will train you on how to make content, because I can't make your content. That has to come from the festival itself. They know which content will be converting best or is best to inform and engage them. That's it. Thank you very much for your attention.
Okay, thank you very much for your talk. So I can see that there are actually 2 questions on our screen. So maybe we can start with the first one. So with so many fail live events up today, what would you say are the key things that make Appmiral stand out from the crowd?
Yes. Good question. I think most live event apps are just list apps. So it's giving you exactly the same as on the mobile website. There's not much extra experience between the mobile website and the application. By having the newsfeed also, this is what definitely, as I told you before, it's 80% of the traffic that we are generating. We see on average, we see 20 sessions per user on average. This is only because there's a reason why they come back. And they don't come back for the lineup, they come back because there will probably be something new. And that is the news feed, actually. Yeah.
Great, thank you. Another question. Where do you see even apps for the festivals in the future? What could be the new trends, maybe with the new generation coming?
Yeah. I think apps will be a lot more integrated than ever before. And we see a lot of consolidation happening once. But also the integration of data. We are becoming actually one of the most important data sources together with ticketing and cashless. And the idea is that we should just be handing over all the data towards the CRM or the data strategy from a festival. So we are like a Trojan horse with very interesting artist favoriting behavior, where they can use it to make intelligent sales action. For example, if I like Armin van Buuren as a DJ, next time when I do a lineup release for next season ticket sales, and I release Armin van Buuren again, I can only do it to the people who like Armin van Buuren, and maybe give them a 5% discount if they book early. Stuff like that is possible if we can send the data back to their data management platform. So, yeah.
And we also have the third question. And do you share the customer's app via analytics via Data Studio?
Yes. So everything, we are just data processor. Everything you get back from your application, from the downloads, but it's all anonymized. At this moment, will be returned back to the organizer with Data Studio. If you have some kind of a single sign-on or data strategy in place, we can also use the login, and then we can link users to behavior. That's also possible. For example, Tomorrowland, they have a Tomorrowland account on top of their website, ticketing sales, merchandising, but also for the application. And we just send back to Amazon Cognito all the needed data points that they are requiring.
Okay, thank you very much. So that's it from our side. If you want to have some final words, then here we are.